Live from Uvalde, Texas, the Crossroads of Texas and America.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
The best new country from the Lone Star State.
Alrighty, we're live at Broadway 830, Texas Country at the Crossroads, our interview series every Friday night live here at the Crossroads of America. That's highways 83 and 90, two of the largest, most beautiful roads in the great USA. And I'm here with our special guest, pinch hitting in kind of cover for somebody else. I'm not gonna shame anybody, although I want to. But Mr. Paul Isaac is here. Welcome back, sir.
Man? Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, so thanks for doing this. I mean, so the story goes this. We had a cancellation, then I got a fill-in, then I had a cancellation on the fill-in. So you literally, we got this 2 days ago, right, is when you committed to do this?
Yeah.
So, man, I appreciate you coming in clutch, man, really.
Bringing in the third stringer.
Yeah, no. Now, you're always first on my list.
I'm kidding, man.
And you actually were going to fill in a couple weeks ago, remember?
I was, yeah.
We had a bad run. So here's the funny thing. I don't know how many, you've done booking, right? And,
yeah.
So you'll actually appreciate this. Whenever you're booking your calendar, you ever notice that when you book you book a three-month chunk out,
right?
Towards the end of that chunk, you get a bunch of people that kind of forgot about the date or just stuff comes up. So most of the dates that are going on right now, I literally booked in February.
Right.
And now, hey, just make sure you're still cool to come out. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. I had one guy that straight up said, oh, yeah, I don't work with that booking agent anymore. But it's always cool to have cool people like you
I appreciate
in your pocket, you know what I mean? To be like, hey, man.
Well, I got your back, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Like I told you, anytime,
Well, we had the pleasure of hanging out recently. You were kind enough and gracious enough to do our Uvalde Strong benefit show over in Hondo at the Graff Ranch. Now, have you played out there before?
I've never played out there.
Pretty cool place, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I was most excited about.
What was that?
It was under a roof.
Oh, yeah. Were you expecting out hot? It was so hot, dude.
I didn't know what to expect,
right.
And I'm just kind of like, I'll expect this might be outside. But when I saw, under a roof with big ass fans,
right,
I
sure.
was good,
So funny thing is on the day of or the night before, everybody was very cool. We had a lot of artists that participated, but the women started blowing me up. Hey, is this going to be indoors, outdoor? I mean, because they got to put their makeup on. They got layers and layers to it, and they'll melt in the sun. So
right.
but it was still hot though. That's not.
It's not just tears that make makeup run.
That's true.
It's a Texas heat'll do that.
Woo, it's true. But it was a good time. It was for a great cause, and it was cool to hang out, man. We got a couple beers. I got to watch some other shows, and it was kind of cool to have a buddy to hang out with and just kind of, remark on the artist and, do a little observing. And, So did you get to see anybody that you hadn't seen before at that show, or? I'm sure you can't go out to see everybody, I guess,
Yeah. I mean, because I don't get out a lot to go to see artists perform.
And
I want to, because I'm usually gone,
Yeah.
But it was nice to see, Bree Bagwell and Laura Leonard, and I caught a little bit of Ken Falk.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, those guys are great.
Of course, Chuck. Yeah, who cares? That was just Chuck. I know Chuck. I've seen him too many times. No, Chuck's my boy. But let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
So I was in like just running mad to get stuff squared away so I could head out here to do that. And man, it was one of them days, and I took off without my wallet, right? And I realized I got to stop and get gas real quick, And I was like, I don't have my wallet. How much gas do I have? And I'm going, okay, I've got 72 miles. Okay, I can get there. I don't know if I can get back to a gas station.
Right.
Okay, wait. Chuck's going to be there. So I get there. I walk up to Chuck and Jamie. I said, hey, man, I need $20. I forgot my wallet.
Nice.
Give me $20 and I'll Venmo it right back to you.
That is so cool. It's good to have friends, man.
It is,
You see, that's great, man. Yeah, so Chuck,
I made it back home.
Much love to Chuck. He's another guy. He filled in for us last week on another cancellation.
Yep.
Yeah, so
he's a good guy.
He's a really good guy. He's got a great wife and manager. But really, aren't all of our wives managers?
They are. I know my wife is. I mean, like when we talked the other week, it's like my wife reminded me. It's like, you have this on your calendar that I forgot to put on my calendar.
Oh, there you go.
So if I didn't have her, somebody, getting my back, I'd let down a lot of people.
Yeah.
More often than not.
It's good to have that. It's good to have someone who's got your back, and for sure. Well, man, it's good to have you out here again. So today, the trip, everything cool. Brought the wallet, had enough gas.
I brought the wallet, had enough gas. But the morning didn't start that way.
Oh, well, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on. Go
all
ahead.
Right, so I was meeting Michael Rhodes, right? He's a guy that I write with often, and he's breaking into the Texas market. And so him and Nick were down here. They're doing some shows this weekend. And I was meeting him for breakfast. And Mike and I go back a few years. We write together often. So I leave the house. I pick them up at the hotel. We go to have breakfast, and I said, "Breakfast is on you, man. I left my wallet at the house." And I'm like, "Oh man, it's gonna be one of the days, right?" Woo. And so then we leave the restaurant. We get in the truck, and I went, "I'll be right back." I left my phone in the restaurant.
Oh my Lord, Paul, are we getting old?
Oh,
are you starting?
I have no idea.
Do we need some Geritol? Some Ensure?
Man.
I mean, what's going on?
I take great supplements. You know, my wife keeps me healthy. It's just there's been so much on my brain.
Yeah.
You know, lately, and it was one of them. Plus, you know, I've been on meds since last Wednesday.
Ooh, okay.
Not with COVID.
Right.
It was like either a really heavy flu, or a cold or a flu, and the congestion's still killing me.
Gotcha.
Right? So,
and that stuff makes you foggy, man.
It does, man. You kind of get a little heady on it.
Now, hey, did you ever get the COVID?
I did.
Because I did too, and I think that it left some older people like, well, you're not super old, and you know we're not geriatric yet.
Yeah.
But
right.
I think that brain fog is a thing because I feel like I'm not as sharp as I used to be, and I don't think it's just me getting older.
Man,
I think that thing did a little something to me.
It did.
More.
I'll tell you, because I had it. I got it at the end, right at the beginning of March of last year, and I mean, it did me in. It laid me up, and you know, then for months afterwards, I mean, it's like if I exerted myself, my chest would hurt like nobody's business. And my wife is like, "Is it your heart?" And, you know, so I went in the doc, got a physical, everything was fine. And he was just like, "I think you have what we're calling long COVID."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the brain fog.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't remember what I had done 30 seconds ago. You know, I mean, I just couldn't think. So I went to just keeping lists and writing lists. Be looking at a list and forget what you wrote it down for.
Oh my Lord, yeah.
What do? You know?
Thank God again for the wife, right? You know, to help keep you in check.
She did, man.
Yeah.
She really helped me, you know. And the guys that work with me and work for me, I mean, they stepped up too, and then you know they carried a lot of weight, you know. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, finally, you know, about 3-4 months ago, I started feeling really normal.
Feeling yourself again. That's kind of what I went through. You know, I'm old, obese, borderline diabetic. So man, it hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
Got over it, but I was always fatigued, and it was just kind of like, you know, my chest would get heavy, and but the brain fog was the most annoying of it all.
That was what was most scary.
Because otherwise you're a pretty sharp guy, you know, and then it makes you feel really. I think guys that tend to be independent, go-getters, kind of sharp, you know. It could really, I could consider myself one of those type of guys. But whenever you can't collect your thoughts sometimes, it's really, really scary for a guy who's on top of things.
Scary,
yeah, very cool. Well, anyway, that conversation took a weird turn. So let's go and talk about the music, man. Let's go and remind everybody who you are. Let's play your last single, because I know you got new music coming out real soon, right?
Yeah.
So before we get into that, let's go ahead and do your I want to say current or most recent single. It's called "Driving Home." For those who you're brand new to, give us a quick overview on the single "Driving Home."
Driving Home was kind of, you know, that story a lot of us go through. It's that time you gotta, you know, leave home, venture out on your own, and it's kind of scary, you know, and you find yourself that, hey, you know what? There's a lot of those lessons that I learned growing up that I can really lean on, that's going to help me when stuff gets hard or difficult or scary, you know? And so it's like those things Mama used to say, or Dad used to say, or Grandpa used to say. I mean, those are the things. You just kind of keep driving those home, you know, when the doubt comes in, the fear comes in, you know, like, hey, man, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. It's okay. You failed. Now you know what not to do, you know,
right.
Driving those things home all the time, you know, because I read something that just struck me, and it's like, you know, no one fails a 10th time.
No one fails a 10th time.
A 10th time.
Explain.
But everybody quits by the 7th.
Oh, wow. That's like a real stat, huh?
Yeah, and I went through this stat, and it's like nobody fails a 10th time, you know, and sometimes you just got to keep at it and don't quit and don't quit. How do you do that? Well, there's those things you learn, those people that's got your back, you know, and one of the lines in the song talks about, you know, all the people in the graveyard in our family cemetery, you know, and what I'm doing now, you know, is built upon the foundations that they laid in the family and the things that they said and the things that they passed down. You just keep driving those home, because there's a lot of encouragement in that stuff.
Wow.
So that's what the song is about, driving home.
And I like that thought of getting it on the 10th time or whatever, because you fail enough time, then the probability statistics are on your side.
Yeah.
So keep on going, man. It's awesome.
Well, and there's a lot of truth, because what I do to make money, to make a living and pay the bills. I've been a carpenter all my life and a general contractor, and I do so much consulting work now, and people are like, dude, how do you know so much? Because I spent 34 years failing at it.
Right.
Screwing
it up and learning.
And you figure out how to do it right and what not to do. And sometimes what not to do is much more important than getting it right.
People need to really focus on that. Every failure is something learned. It really is. And that just makes you better at what you do. From that point, that timeline on, you've learned something, you're better at it automatically.
Yep,
very good.
that's right.
Let's go ahead and get it on, man. Paul Isaac, Driving Home. He's here live at Broadway A30 tonight, performing at 7 o'clock till about 10. Come on out here, buy him a beer, leave him a tip, and tell him how much you enjoy his music. Check it out. This is UvaldeRadio.net.
Outside of my front porch, topping over Thompson Hill. Everything I owned in the backseat, white knuckles on the wheel. I remember Mama waving, blowing me kisses in my rearview mirror. I can still hear her. Yeah, I can still hear her. When you're losing hope, hitting dead end roads, keep your faith, hold it close. Fear's a liar, everybody knows. When the bad days come, knock you on your back, dust yourself off, straighten up that hat. Better call your mama if you know what's good for your soul. Lessons learned I carry with me, fill me up when I'm on empty. Simple things, I gotta keep driving home. Keep driving home. That steeple over the front door didn't see enough of me, but them promises from the preacher somehow dug down kinda deep. And that graveyard by the church, those crosses row on row, are the loved ones I miss that pass down what I know. When you're losing hope, hitting dead end roads, keep your faith, hold it close. Fear's a liar, everybody knows. When the bad days come, knock you on your back, dust yourself off, straighten up that hat. Better call your mama if you know what's good for your soul. Lessons learned I carry with me, fill me up when I'm on empty. Simple things, I gotta keep driving home. When you're losing hope, hitting dead end roads, keep your faith, hold it close. He's a liar, everybody knows. When the bad days come, knock you on your back, dust yourself off, straighten up that hat. Better call your mama if you know what's good for your soul. Lessons learned I carry with me, fill me up when I'm on empty. Simple things, you gotta keep driving home. Keep driving home. Keep on driving home.
All right. Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel. Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
Alrighty, we are live at Broadway A30, 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. If you're local, you got time to come on down here and enjoy the gentleman you just heard right there. That was Paul Isaac out of the San Antonio area. The song is called Driving Home. Pretty much your first single to Texas radio, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So the debut single, and man, it sounds real good on our airwaves. We're glad that we're happy that we got behind it. And you're excited. You got a new song coming real soon, right?
Yeah, finally. Yeah, we're probably a couple of weeks away from.
Now get a little bit closer. I know you're in getting ready to play and perform here, but we just need.
Yeah, no, we're getting close to it. I was just telling you off air, kind of why the delays were.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to discuss any of that, or want to keep that private?
No, man, I can tell it. So my wife and I were battling. My oldest son was showing severe rapid onset symptoms of MS. And so for the past 3 months, we've been going to doctors and specialists, and it turns out that it looks like it's not MS, but rather it is symptoms and damage that has been done due to a medication he took from about 4 years old to 10 years old. And so then he was taking a medication dealing with those symptoms, and that medication was exacerbating it, making it worse.
Oh, my Lord.
And so his doctor just said, you know what, we're just going to take you off of everything. I don't think it's this med you're on, but let's just clear your body out of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Put him on a diet of non-processed meat and potatoes. That was it, right? Because he's got some gluten issues and some autoimmune stuff. So, and he started clearing up.
Wow.
Right? I mean, he was falling, fainting, dizzy, couldn't walk. I mean, it was scary, you know.
But improvement so far.
Yeah, now he's fine. He's going back to work, you know. He has some bad days, you know, every few days. But, yeah, it was a huge relief, you know. And now it's like, okay, you know, life's back to normal.
Well, I believe in the power of prayer, so if you're out there listening, y'all throw Paul, his wife, his kid, a prayer out there, and we wish him the best of luck and health.
Yeah, man.
And a long, you know, healthy future.
That's right.
And obviously, more than legitimate reason to sideline the release of a new single, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
So aside from that...
I love music, but not that much.
Right, no, of course, man. You gotta take care of that family, man, for sure. So let's go ahead and talk about the song, though. So what are we working on here? How soon is it going to come out now?
We're probably 2, maybe 3 weeks
Okay.
out from it. The one that we originally had started working on, I was talking to my co-writer about it, and then it didn't feel right. And so we decided, we won't release that. So I'm releasing one that was a solo write. And my radio promoter was like, you know what? I think you're right. I think we should do this one.
Okay.
And
Talking about Sebi?
Yeah.
All right,
so-
round 2 is Sebi.
That's right. So I started playing it out and playing a few festivals, you know, this summer when I could. And people started responding, loved it, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, this is going to be it. The song's called Boom.
Boom. All right. I like it already.
Yeah, it's
That's
called
great.
Boom. And the story behind it, man, when I was 19, I was driving my Ford Ranger pickup truck, 1983 Ford Ranger pickup, home, and I fell asleep at the wheel and totaled my truck.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And so I had just started my business.
But you remember your wallet at least.
I did. At that time, I did my wallet. That's right, yeah.
Sorry.
So, you know, I needed a vehicle, and my mom was like, well, call your dad. So I called my dad, and my dad was like, man, you're in luck. Your grandpa just brought his truck over this past weekend and isn't going to drive anymore, so you can drive it. It needs a little bit of work. It's running a little rough, so you'll have to do some work on it. I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, at 19 years of age, trying to pick up, you know, those gorgeous women, how many are going to respond to an old 1963 Ford Stepside that looks like something from Sanford and Son? You know? That's exactly what the truck looked like, man. And I'm thinking, oh, man, I got to drive this, you know? And so anyway, some of the stuff in the song, you know, one day I was talking to my cousin about that truck, you know, we would love to have that truck back and restore it.
Sure,
If we knew now what if we knew then what we knew now, we
It
would have
sounds like
kept
a
it.
gold mine, man. So I have a similar story. I had a 72 Maverick, you know, that was just amazing, but also, you know, a piece. You know? So it's like, you know, really kind of, and if I had the time and the resources and the patience that I have now, man, I could do great things with that thing. But back then, again, like you were saying, all I wanted was a way to pick up the pretty girl, man, take her on the date.
You know, and that truck wasn't going to do it,
Right.
you know. But I remember going through, and this is a true part in the song. I was hungry because I was out working. I had been building this privacy fence, right? And I was hungry, so I went through this Burger King, which is now a Starbucks.
Okay.
And there was this girl I was crushing on, and she was working the window that day at the Burger King, right? So I get through there, and I pull up, and she goes, is that a 63 Stepside? What? And I was like, you got to be kidding me, you know?
Well, I was going to say, Paul, the girl's working at a Burger King. That's a cool girl. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're okay with a Whopper, that's all right.
That's right, yeah.
She wasn't that dainty.
Yeah, no, she was great, man. Her name was Ray Ann, but to protect her identity, her name is Jody Jensen in the
Okay,
song.
very good. All right.
You know. But yeah, no, it was fun.
Well, it sounds like a fun track, man. So now we know what it's about. How about the recording and how fleshing it out as you know, as a song, as a piece of work?
Man, it's gone probably through about 7 revisions,
right.
Even musically, to get where I felt like emotionally it was there, the fun was there, the tension was there, you know. And so it finally got there. We played around with the hook, you know. My publisher was like, boom, and then it's gone. He didn't like it at all.
Oh, really?
You know, and he liked everything except boom. And then another co-writer friend of mine, I was playing it at a writer's retreat we were doing, and he was like, man, I think there could be something better than boom, right? And so I tried different hooks for a while, and you know what? The crowds didn't respond at all.
Really?
And so then I went, I'm going back to boom to see what happens. And I went back to boom, and the crowd started to respond again, because that boom kind of evokes that, I don't want to say adolescent emotion, but it evokes some of that emotion you feel when you're 19 driving your car.
I haven't even heard a song yet, and the anticipation's already killing me, man. I'm already excited about it.
So yeah,
That's
I mean,
good
it's a fun song, you know. It's got a lot of truth in it.
So is it done with engineering, recording? Is that all set?
Yeah,
Are you
all
just
of
ready
that
to put
is
it out
right
promo?
now. Right now, what I'm waiting to do is get rid of this cold or flu that I've had and the congestion, so I can go cut and comp out the real vocals.
Right on.
Know? So everything else is just sitting there.
Well, consider this some last-ditch rehearsals, all right?
Yeah, right.
So again, here we go. Paul Isaac in from San Antonio, performing tonight at Broadway 830, going to do a live performance of the soon-to-be-released single entitled Boom. I mean, this is exciting stuff, man.
That's right.
It's kind of a UvaldeRadio.net premiere.
That's right.
All right, man. So good. Take it away, Paul.
Drop the hood within your stick. Got a right front fender with a big old dent, rust in the bed, and a body faded red. I spent my summer turning wrenches, took the key and turned that ignition, and then things went boom, like 4th of July, like a cold midnight on New Year's Eve when everybody's kissing on better things. Boom, like a team just won, like a big kick drum, your heartbeat jumping right out of your chest. It sure feels good when things go boom. When things go boom. Dirty white tee and I don't care. I gotta take a guess, I wanna go somewhere. Pulling in the DQ, heard a voice go yoo-hoo. Then Jody Jensen jumped inside, said, boy, I like your 63, step aside. And then things went boom, like 4th of July, like a cold midnight on New Year's Eve when everybody's kissing on better things. Boom, like a team just won, like a big kick drum, your heartbeat thumping right out of your chest. It sure feels good when things go boom. Yeah, when things go boom. Still got the girl, still got the truck, memories all prettied up, brand new paint and a party dress. You look good in candy apple red, and my heart goes boom, like 4th of July, like a cold midnight on New Year's Eve when everybody's kissing on better things. Boom, like a team just won, like a big kick drum, your heartbeat thumping right out of your chest. It sure feels good when things go boom. Yeah, when things go boom.
Yeah, there you go. Paul Isaac live at Broadway 830, 100 East Main Street, downtown Uvalde. If you're home listening locally, you still got time to go see this guy. He's going to be performing tonight here in just moments on the patio until about 10 o'clock. And hopefully play that song again, man, with the big PA.
I'll play it again.
Yeah, very cool, man. Yeah. So that was the UvaldeRadio.net world premiere of
right.
Paul Isaac's Boom. I loved it, man. I love that song.
Good.
Just Just You and the Guitar. Great song. I can only imagine what more of a full production is going to be like, man.
Yeah, no, it sounds really cool. My oldest son, Josh, the one who's been struggling with the med issues, he got in there, and he's a phenomenal drummer, right? And that's how I used to make my living. But, man, he is like what I only dreamed of being. So he got in there and worked on producing the drum tracks. And, I mean, they're pretty killer. Yeah.
Well, give me a song called "Boom" has to have some good drums.
It does.
It just has to. That's a rule.
Yeah.
Well, man, again, we are looking forward to hearing that. The radio single release. I guarantee you, it's going on the minute we get it. So the minute everything gets done, you just get it to me. And Sebi doesn't even have to give me the strong arm or twist my arm another, man. So, man, thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
My
exciting,
pleasure.
man. I love hearing something like that live before we hear, because then I can kind of do the A/B.
Yeah, right,
and,
right.
And it's always fantastic when a song, again, like I said, just you and the guitar, when it's already a great song, all the whistles and bells just add to that.
It does.
But really, well, it does get down to the song, the skeleton of it.
It does.
And if that's awesome, that one goes boom, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate
All right,
it.
so again, Paul Isaac's here tonight. Go ahead and, I guess, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. So any news you want to get out there that maybe upcoming gigs or information that you just want to get us caught up on?
Oh man, if you want to friend me, I don't have a whole lot of music out there yet.
Okay.
Just because you kind of know what my journey's been.
Yeah.
But man, you can reach me at Paul Isaac Music at all of the social media. Driving Home's on Spotify. Boom will be on Spotify, and then we're going to be dropping some other stuff on Spotify that isn't going to go to radio, just to get some content up. I'll be playing at Max Barbecue tomorrow night in Fredericksburg. And then I get the cool pleasure of taking off. We'll be gone for about 16 days on tour with my boys. And then we'll have about 4 or 5 days off, and then we'll be gone for another almost 20 days on tour.
Wow.
With their band. So yeah, it'll be fun.
So
I get
cool,
to play
man.
the dad manager in front of house engineer. So
No, I love your life, man. I mean, it must be so cool to have your own thing.
Yeah.
But then to see your kids, doing the same thing and being a part of that dream as well too.
It's fun. It's blessed. I love being on the other side of the console and not the performer. It's just like, yeah.
Well, it's a fantastic story you've got, and I guess I wish we had time to go into more, but it'll give us something to do next time. I did want to talk to you about. I had one question, and I might have brain farted because brain fog.
Yeah.
Because post COVID,
Yeah.
I can't get anything out anymore. But
Yeah.
I guess just find everybody find him Paul Isaac Music.
No, Paul Isaac Songs.
Paul Isaac Songs.
At
okay.
Paul Isaac Songs.
At Paul Isaac Songs, and I always have a hard time finding you on social media because there's a couple of other Paul Isaacs out there.
There's like a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and
Yeah.
none of them are as good
I
as
need
you.
to take them out.
Yeah, we should do that. We need to take them out. And, man, thank you again for sharing that with us. And, again, Paul Isaac's here tonight live. Thanks again for pinch hitting, getting
My
in
pleasure,
on us.
Robert.
Last-minute show with Paul.
Anytime, man.
What
Anytime.
a treat. So
Anytime.
cool. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here. Texas Country at the Crossroads. We've been live at Broadway 830 at the Crossroads of America, the world, and your heart. So we're done here. Thanks, Paul. I love you, man.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up here for uvaldyradio.net.